Okay, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the Alliance Mobilization event. Okay, this is a really great event. It comes around about once a month. You can get some really awesome rewards for it. And the farther your alliance goes, the more you wind up in your proper ranking here. So if you're in the promotion zone, you move up a tier, you move up a rank, get matched up with other people in your rank, and you move down this tier list as you up ranks and you unlock more and more rewards. It's a really awesome event, but it's got one problem, which is that it's not a very free to play friendly event. Okay, a lot of the really easy events to complete are these like buying gems or buying bundles, and if you're free to play, you're not going to be buying those bundles. Some of the troop training ones are like training tier 5. I don't have tier 5. I'm probably not going to have tier 5 till Season of Conquest. So it can be really tough if you are a free to play player, but I'm here to show you some tips and tricks with the Alliance Mobilization event so that you can get the most out of it. Because, like most alliances, like my alliance, there's a minimum amount of points you need to hit. If you don't hit those points, then you're not eligible to get the rewards at the end because like every alliance, you want to be at the top, like we are here in the promotion zone, so that you can go up and get better rewards. Okay, so like my alliance minimum is 1,000, and where am I? I've only done a couple so far. Yeah, 58th. I've done 750, so 1,000 isn't going to be a problem for me, but I'm not a free to play player. Okay, so first, a few tips for people that aren't free to play players. Okay, these buying bundles. Okay, the best way to do that is if you buy your daily special offer. Okay, it's down to $2, $4 because I'm in Canada, but $2 if you're in the States. And when you buy this, you get 3 Alliance chests. You see this? Alliance chest, Alliance chest, Alliance chest. So for just $2, you can complete a challenge that says give 3 or 2 bundles to your alliance. This is a 4 bundle one, so if you wanted to spend and get another bundle, you can. You also have 24 hours to finish it, so you could claim it and take until the next day and do your bundle again. The next best way to get some of these, okay, is in your supply depot. Okay, so if you didn't know this, the supply depot, this is the most cost-effective way, or one of the best cost-effective ways, to get gems, materials, etc. Like if you look at the 30-day gem supply, I always have this running. You get just under 20,000 gems, but it's over 30 days. Go to like the gem store, just find straight gems. You get 25,000, which is more, but it's like $140. And the Supply Depot is, if I knew this, I think it's a $10 bundle. It's I think about $13 for me. But you instantly receive 2,200 gems from this, and that'll count as 2,200 gems towards a task or challenge you have of buying gems. Same with the 7-day material. Okay, and when you renew it, you can keep renewing it. Okay, so if I, for instance, go get a challenge right now, like I thought I saw one in here, buy 1,200 gems, and I go into my supply depot and I renew this. Okay, I can renew it again. So what I generally do is I grab those tasks and I renew my stuff so that they have at least a 30-day timer left on them, and I complete a bunch of tasks during Alliance Mobilization for things I was going to buy anyway. So I want to keep those things going. I want to keep renewing them and having them go all the time. So I might as well do it during Alliance Mobilization and get 2 for 1. Instead of renewing it and just it running, I might as well get some points for this event. The spending gems one, I wouldn't really recommend anyone get. Okay, so like here, spend 7,000 gems. The only time I would get the gem spending tasks is if, for instance, Wheel of Fortune is coming up. Mightiest Governor starts in a day. On the second day of Mightiest Governor, the Wheel of Fortune's around. If I plan on spending gems and spinning the Wheel of Fortune anyway, then the gems I spend on the Wheel of Fortune count towards those tasks. Okay? That, or if there's a 7 gem event on, or somewhere you're going to spend your gems. Okay? If you're just doing the spend gems and you're, buying VIP or Books of the Covenant, those gems are better saved up and spent during a more than gems event. Okay? They're not worth it for 1 or 2 tasks in here. If you're a whale and you have a whole bunch of gems and you know you're going to have your 50,000 gems for the more than gems event, then sure, go for it if you have something to spend gems on. Another tip with the Wheel of Fortune, after KVK 2, the Wheel of Fortune turns to a ticket system. So it's the exact same price. Instead of just paying, the 400 gems once a day for that 50% off spin or 3,600 for 5 spins, you can buy 1 ticket for 400. You get 1 free ticket a day, and you can buy 5 tickets for 3,600. The nice thing with that is after KVK2, you don't have to use those tickets on that wheel. So if Alliance Mobilization's on, and there's a Wheel of Fortune on, and it's not a Wheel of Fortune you plan on spinning, you can buy those tickets, get some of these gem quests, right? Buy a bunch of tickets, and save those tickets for the next Wheel of Fortune that you plan on doing, okay? Now, so if you're a free-to-play player, after KVK2, that's a really good way to complete some of these higher value quests, right? Because if you're in an alliance like me, who have a minimum 1,000 points, you only get 10 total tasks. Well, 11. Most alliances want you to do that extra one, 600 gems for another quest attempt. Okay? You're going to be wanting to only get quests that are over like 100. Okay? Some like 80s or 90s are okay if you're mixing in some that are also over 100 because you need to get to that 1,000. As you get higher and higher in the ranks, you get to some of these leagues that are a lot lower. That minimum is probably going to move up and up so that you can compete with the alliances that are in here, and so that you can complete enough levels to get all those rewards. Okay, so some tips for the free-to-play players that are doing some of these. The gathering ones are great. Okay, this one is only gather. You only need to send your marches out once. You have 3 hours. Make sure you always have a gathering boost on when you're doing these quests. Game's being laggy. Yeah, so make sure you always have a gathering boost on. Okay. Another thing I like to do if I'm doing some of the gathering boosts, or if I plan on doing a gathering quest, is it only calculates what you gathered when your troops return to the city. So if you're worried about the time frame of gathering the resources for it, if it's like one of the higher ones, not that one, which is just 5 mil, if it's sometimes it's like 9 or 10 mil for the higher level ones, if you send out your marches, okay, if I send some marches out to gather, if I start the quest before they return to the city, once they return to the city, I get all of the resources they gathered. So if I gathered from here and this takes, whatever, maybe 2 hours, and then I start the quest as my troops are marching back, as soon as they get back, I get what they gathered from here. So sometimes I'll send out some gatherers, and then an hour, hour and a half later, I will start the gathering quest. I'll try and find one and I'll start it. That way I get kind of a head start on it. Another thing I've seen people do, which takes a lot more, you got to be really tentative on the game. But if your marchers are marching back from a resource point, and you can have them stand, so like if I send out just a march here, right? And then when they're coming back from a resource point, they're going to be retreating. If I just have them stand there, I can wait. I can have marches full of resources, have them wait for a quest, a gathering quest I want to pop up, start it, and then once they return, boom, you get all that, and you can complete those gathering quests really easy. But it's going to be hard to get all the gathering quests you need and be able to do it. It is a week-long event. If you are going for the gathering ones or some of these other ones, I would recommend you wait until or later on in the time frame, because these quests are going to be up here a lot longer. Like for instance, gathering this one, let's say this was a much higher number and I thought I might have troubles gathering that amount. I know it's here now. I don't want to claim it yet, but I'm at the risk of someone else claiming it. Like I set up all my marches to go gather, and then before they're about to come back, I go to claim it, someone else did, right? you look at my alliance here, like there's a lot of people that are 11 out of 11, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 9. Like a lot of people have completed almost all their quests. So if you wait until the last couple of days, there's going to be a lot more open quests for you to pick from. Okay. If you're free to play, the next thing that you're probably going to have to do is spend speed ups and resources. And for this, you're going to want to do a 2-for-1. So let's see if I can get an example here. Building or training, building or training. Okay, so there's no speed ups for research. Okay. But if you didn't know about this for research and for troops, okay, if it says, for instance, these increase power through training, through research or training, okay, you don't actually gain that power until you click it. So if I were to if you watch my power here, once I summon these level 1 siege, it goes up after I click it, okay? And it's the same with research. So if you grab a quest, that's a time quest, and it says use X amount of speed ups on research, I can speed up my research, okay? And then when it's done, okay, before I click it and complete the research, I will come in here and I will grab a increase power through research or training, okay? And then you can get 2 for the price of those speed ups. And it's the same with training. So what I would recommend you do is, let's say you want to grab a quest that says increase your power through training and use speed ups on training. You can toss on one of these expansion boosts. You're going to have to do some math, okay? So 1 tier 4 unit, if you're training tier 4, is 4 power, okay? So if, for instance, I want to complete this one, which is a pretty high level one, 110,000. We do some, I don't want to lie to you, so I'll do some quick calculator here. 110,000 divided by 4. I'm going to need to train 27,500 tier 4 units. Okay. So I might do a 20,000 and like a 5,000, or 20,000 and 10, some combination to get me over that threshold. I will then grab a quest that says use speed ups on training. I will speed up the training, and then before I collect the troops, I will then select a increase power through training, and then I can complete 2 quests for those speed ups. Okay. Of course, before you do that, you might want to grab some ruins, the Duke title, something like that before you start your training. But you can easily complete 2 at a time through research training just by doing that if your gathering ones aren't working or you need a couple more quests to get you over that threshold. Okay, the barbarian forts is really easy if there's a barb fort going on, like a barb fort event. So like we had one just finished. What is it called? King of the Tribes, I believe. Just finished. Not gonna show you. Yeah, King of the Tribes. Okay, King of the Tribes are going on, or you're in pre-KVK where you're doing the fort event. That one's really easy. Or if you have a super active alliance where forts are going 24/7. If you're not, the fort one can be a little tricky. Okay, and I've always found where are they? The higher level barbarian ones can be hard. Okay, if you didn't know how this is calculated, if you have 5 marches going and you defeat 1 barbarian, but all 5 marches did damage, it'll count as 5 towards there. Okay, so that's fine, but that still means you have to destroy 36 barbarians in an hour. Okay, so that is 1 set of barbarians every 2 minutes, which doesn't seem very hard, right? I see lots of barbarians around here. But as you start going, you also got to remember time's ticking on your march speed. Okay, so if you're not using all calves and you're marching a little slower with your infantry units, like, yeah, there's maybe like 8 around here, But then if I finish killing this barb, I gotta walk over here. This might be a 1 minute walk. And then the time it takes to kill the barbs is also calculated in there. So I've always found that those are a kind of a race to the finish line, and you kind of want to be using really fast commanders. And it's definitely doable. You can definitely do it. You're gonna make sure you have some AP bottles, most likely, and stuff like that. As for the other ones, these training ones are literally only anytime you see the army dude, it's always tier 5 units. I don't think I've ever seen a tier 4 unit one. So if you don't have tier 5 units, don't even try it. Okay. This one also, you're kind of at the mercy of your alliance. You need to help allies 90 times. You do have 12 hours. Okay. And I think most people can complete this if you're fairly active. But if people aren't requesting help, like for instance, at this point in the game in KVK2, like my research takes 30 days. So most days I'm not requesting research help. I have a couple of resource buildings going up, but we're getting close to the point where most people have all their buildings done. So the only help that you're going to be getting is healing troops. And if there's no war or anything going on, not many people are going to be requesting help with troops. Okay. The other key thing is you have to claim your quests. So you've probably figured this out, but if you complete a quest after it's done, like I showed earlier when I renewed my materials, you have to come in here and turn it in. Now they did update this. It used to be you had like an hour or 2 hours. It was really short. Now I believe you have about 12 hours. I've been noticing on this one. And the last talk with the developers, they did say there are some changes coming to Alliance Mobilization soon. So some of this advice might be a little outdated by the time you see this video, but at the moment, if you're free to play, the best way for you to do it is to double up on speed up ones and increase power ones. Okay? That or spending gems on Wheel of Fortune tickets. Especially if you're free to play, don't be wasting these gems on things you weren't going to spend gems on anyways. If you are a spender, renewing your supply depot, okay, and buying the dailies is the best way for you to complete a bunch of these quests. Okay? Best of luck. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.